Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We are live on WNDU.com. You'll also find us on Facebook Live with WNDU's Facebook page. Good morning everyone. I'm Tricia Sloma, live from the WNDU newsroom. It's right before we get our news day started. Our news team is getting ready for our morning meeting, but this is my time that I jump in and say hello and good morning and talk about some really incredible kids. On Wednesdays, we like to talk about Wednesday's Child. It's a segment we started in 2020 here at WNDU. It's actually a long-established program in other parts of the country. TV stations typically will select a child, share their story, and hopefully get that child adopted. We were made aware of this and said, hey, that's something we want to do here at WNDU. So we started this with Indiana Department of Child Services. We started this in 2020. I expanded it to Michigan, and in order to tell the stories of the children who are waiting in the state of Michigan, we partnered with Grant Me Hope. They work with Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange up there. So they are the ones who came up with this week's story. So I want to share the story of Quandrez. Quandrez is quite the kid. He is a teenager who is available for adoption. Now, I hope you're not squeamish with snakes and spiders, because when they, our friends at Grant Me Hope, they take them to a zoo or a special place where they get to actually do a lot of hands-on work with animals, and these kids love it. I don't know, they've got guts. I am not that brave to hold a spider that you're seeing right now. But Quandrez didn't seem to mind a bit. Now, he is a very talented athlete. He is very fast, and he even mentions that in his story. He wants to play football, specifically for the University of Michigan. So he is a huge football fan. He can't wait for the season to get started. And he said, you know, University of Michigan's a pretty good school. I would really like to go there. So that's our story. You can tune in tonight just before 6 to see Quandrez. We also have this available on our website at WNDU.com. By the way, that's where you can see all of our Wednesday's Child stories. Once we run these Wednesday's Child stories, we're able to put them up on the website. And you know what? A lot of times that's how the story gets shared to families that may not watch us on TV. Maybe a TV newscast at a specific time isn't when they're going to be able to view a waiting child who is in need of adoption. So maybe that somebody is looking out for them and saying, hey, I know you're hoping to adopt, maybe adopt from foster care. I saw this story on Channel 16, and you might just love it. So these are the types of things we hope you'll do. A lot of people wonder from time to time, what can I do to help with these Wednesday's Child stories? Well, you can share them on social media. Make sure you go to our website, view them, and you can check out these stories and also look into fostering or adoption from foster care. All of those resources are available. Easy click on our website, WNDU.com. I want to talk about Joshua, because this is a story example of somebody who is still waiting. And I really hate it that we share these stories of kids, and then I often hope that we're just able to, you know, have that story out there, and then within a matter of weeks, maybe somebody has contacted the Department of Child Services in either Indiana or in Michigan, and this is not the case. Joshua's story was first aired, I believe, in 2021. We re-aired it in 2022. We have since updated his story a few times. So what we know about Joshua is he is nonverbal, he is autistic, he has a lot of sensory toys that he likes to play with. What we know about Joshua is that he loves hugs, and he's also a very joyful child, and he is 16 now. I do believe we have pictures of him in just a moment. You're going to see more updated photos of Joshua. Joshua is just an incredible kid that, while he's nonverbal, he is still very loving, and he brings a lot of joy to the families that he's around and interacts with. So Joshua is 16 now. Here's a more current photo of him. You see the little scruff of facial hair, but boy, that smile is there. He still loves to be outdoors. He loves his sensory toys, and he still loves to bounce. He loves water as well. So another example of our program, when we share the children who have not been adopted, we sometimes circle back and we share their stories again. Joshua is that example. Joshua is now 16. You can see he still is very tactile. He still likes to touch and feel his world. A lot of kids are off in their own world, and so often we hear of children in need of adoption, and it's tough, right? So it's tough for any child who is placed in foster care, especially if they need to be adopted. But can you imagine how tough it is for kids who have special needs, especially kids who are nonverbal, like Joshua? So our hearts go out to them. We recently did a story with a family in New Carlisle that adopted not one, but 2 children from our Wednesday's Child Stories. Both of those boys have special needs, and they are getting care and services provided by the state, and in many cases, maybe resources that were referred by the state. But the parents are getting help, and they want you to know that you're not alone. If you adopt a child with special needs from either Indiana or in Michigan, you are not alone. So there's steps that you can take, there are programs that you can be a part of, and you can get the help that you need with your child. You are not alone. They want you to know that. So kids like Joshua deserve a home. They deserve that respect, that dignity. And we certainly hope, if you have it in your heart to care for children who have special needs, and we know there are a lot of you angels out there, perhaps Joshua is somebody that could join your family. So when we do have these successful stories, like I just referred to the Henneke family in New Carlisle, they are listed under A Place to Call Home, and you can view those stories on our website as well. A Place to Call Home is what you can click on and find our success stories. I love it when we get siblings who are adopted. That was the case of 3 sisters originally from Goshen area, and they were adopted by a family, a young couple who had fertility problems, and they decided that they were going to adopt. And when they looked into it, they said, we need to adopt from foster care. So they're not done yet. I believe they're going to be adopting again soon. So our hellos to them as well. So do check our stories out online, WNDU.com. If you're watching us live right now at WNDU.com, we thank you. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you, but be sure to share our stories as well. We are running our Wednesday's Child Stories every Wednesday right here on Channel 16, so we do hope that you will consider maybe just checking out our stories, sharing them. You can tune in tonight to watch our Wednesday's Child Story just before 6. Again, that is our story about Quandrez. So I'm going to make sure that we have that available again on our website. Shortly after this, we will have that available on our website at WNDU.com. And that's going to do it for our broadcast here on our website, WNDU.com, but also online at our Facebook page. WNDU is where you tune in tonight to watch our Wednesday's Child Stories.